watching AYV Television.
Good morning, Freetown. Good morning, Sierra Leone, and welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV Television and AYV Radio 101.7 FM. My name is Alimatu Judge.
I am Emmanuel Nyakemamo. Whether you are watching or listening to us from the provinces or in the capital city on Channel 33 or on DSTV Channel 399 from across Africa, welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone.
You can also watch us online from around the world on this beautiful day, the 14th of August, 2026. We're counting down 4 months to the end of the year 2026.
We are broadcasting live from the top of Tower Hill in the heart of our beautiful city, Freetown. Send us your comment through our socials on AYV News Facebook page on the stories that we cover.
Coming up in the program this morning, the Liberation People's Party, LPP, has been launched, marking the new entry of a new force in the Sierra Leone's political landscape, focusing on fighting corruption, youth empowerment, job creation, and of course, dogs. We shall be speaking to the leader, Pastor Mohammed Samuel Kamara.
We shall evaluate 1 year of the Sierra Leone Football Association SLFA President Babadi Kamara's achievement, challenges the way forward, including his exclusive interview on the state of the nation on the sacking of Mohamed Kalon as the country's national men's team coach through the State of the Nation program, one of our sisters program here on AYV TV.
And our education reporter, George Batilu Paul, profiled 11-year-old Bethany Matilda Jasmine Chelsea Davis, who emerged this year's best candidate for MPSE. Her remarkable story of determination, family support, and ambition.
But before all these, let's get a quick message from our sponsors. We shall be right back.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like a Wakeup SIM couple. Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Morning. Ria, give me 30 Leone top up. Thank you. Hello, babe. How you dey do? Talk to Guba.
Hello? Hello?
Don't settle for a provider that cuts into your data and airtime.
Ria, give me all the 30 bills.
AfriCell gives you full value. AfriCell, now we network.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I can take money, 2 MoneyGram.
Welcome our PC Foreign Exchange Bureau head office. Sit down.
Thank you.
You can write them.
Waiting that mean?
Where you can take money, 2 MoneyGram Ria Western Union and any PC and Son shop, including with head office. You dey get 1% cashback instant.
Eh?
Yes, ma. You not tap deal. Every Thursday we can collect money. Now 59 Wellington Street, you say you dey showing at the head office for the foreign exchange. You dey get 1% of that money you can collect plus additional gift.
Wow! You mean say for me 1% I dey get gifts?
Yes, ma.
Waiting at the gift.
You dey get gifts like 5 kg paddy jasmine rice. You dey get gifts like paddy oil, paddy milk, paddy mayonnaise, and plenty other paddy things then.
Una thank you.
You're welcome. And now you can call Kangole go give you an lucky win and see what you go win you say.
Wait till you dey wait. No miss out on the Thursday special.
PC Foreign Exchange Bureau, the 1% the game plus Thursday special.
Feels good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes out waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make come from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, it's healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salon.
Here's how to update your details for Salon Payment Switch with AfriMoney. Dial *161#. Select option 1. Go to option 4 for Salon Payment Switch. Select option 2 for account registration. Select 1 to register your alias. You will receive an SMS with a WhatsApp link. Tap the link and provide a valid ID card and your last 5 transactions. Someone will help you update your accounts. AfriMoney, quick and easy. Wetin you be dey fan don finally come. We don bring come we AfriCell loyalty program wey dey make you get loyalty points with every top up wey you do with AfriCell.
The more you top up, the more points you go get, where you can now exchange for minutes, data, phones, discount, and even cashback.
In on top though, you can also gain points with every transaction where you dey do with AfriMoney. Any top up where you do with AfriCell, they count.
Dial star 4232 hash for join the loyalty program for free and start for get you points now. The more you connect, the more you collect. Now the loyalty program from AfriCell.
AfriCell. Now we network. Download and register My AfriCell Sierra Leone new app today and enjoy 1 GB data for free. Valid for 3 days only. To download the app, scan the QR code or download it directly from Google Play Store or App Store. Download now and get the My AfriCell Sierra Leone new app features. For more info, call 111. Here's how to load your AfriMoney Visa card. Dial *161 *5 *4 hash. Press 2. Enter account ID on the back of your Visa card. Enter the last 4 digits on the card. Enter the amount. Enter your AfriMoney PIN. Please securely save your PIN to prevent unauthorized transactions from your card. For more information, call 088-326-326. AfriMoney prepaid Visa card. Safe, simple, accepted everywhere.
Welcome back, and the quick reminder that this is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television and radio in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Now born in Essex, England, and raised through her early schooling at Tower Hill Kindergarten and Primary School in Sierra Leone, 11-year-old Bethany Matilda Jasmine Chelsea Davis, who emerged this year's best candidate for the MPSE, has a remarkable story of determination, family support, and ambition.
Now her mother now shares her journey behind the child she describes as focused, disciplined, and determined to succeed. Our reporter George Bartolo Powell finds the story filmed by Chedo Darami.
Bethany Davis was born on the 10th January 2015 in Essex, England. Her mother, Margaret Davis, revealed to AYV that she was later raised and educated in Sierra Leone, where she began her schooling at Tower Hill Kindergarten and Primary School, where she has emerged as the 2026 Best NPSC candidate.
Bethany Matilda Jasmine Chelsea Davis. Na me firstborn, na me first pikin, me got pikin. I name am Chelsea after my football club Chelsea. I born na England, Essex, and she's 11 years old. I don't go to her kindergarten from baby, from creche, then get her daycare. So since 1 year, 3 months. Now I don't go to kindergarten and primary school. Up to we don't take MPSC, so I feel like now a mixed feeling. I feel excited, and at the same time I was like nervous. I've been the nerve like when I get the news, but it's an exciting news. Now a joy for we, our family, and the school. So I kindergarten and primary school. We feel so good.
Her mother said Bethany's journey was shaped by strong support from both home and school.
So the school, at some point when the exam they approach, the school will pay a lot of attention to them. So the school they keep them up till 4 p.m. from when they go in the morning. So all the other classes then they off and left them there. And then of course they get for take some lessons from the teachers and all. So when he come home back, we subject them to a private teacher. So if you get private teacher, we have take, we the study am na us. And then of course me they as a lawyer, I the study am. My small brother they with the read law they here, himself the study am. And then anybody, me party that will come to me, we sabi maths. After then cancel, I say, Bethany, go and take your book. Tell Uncle Bashir the areas you don't understand. The get one teacher, we don't do it from nursery, Miss Campbell from Karai. So you can weekend, they say, Bethany is my daughter. Say this, again for can shines, not star. So instead can come around, they teach them. So prepare them for a very long time. Sometimes I myself get sorry for her because we don't come on school 5, till they reach now 6. So they made the lesson teacher they wait for her. Then after that we go for studying on it. It was challenging because now small picking the brain, but we target was coming first for Tower Hill Kindergarten and make the school proud. But as it is now, we give God glory because it's beyond Tower Hill now.
Beyond academics, Bethany's mother revealed that her daughter has a clear ambition to become a medical doctor. She says Bethany has talents to sing, draw, dance, and many more.
Well, when I asked her, he said he want to be a medical doctor. And I didn't a medical doctor. He want to be a medical doctor. I said, okay, I'm not going to foresee for be lawyer. You choose what you want to be. And then a very active Christian, in a church, they dance. She's multi-talented. So, it is crochet, it is sew with your hand, it is draw, it is into art. And then this holiday, you don't go catering school, so you want to go learn for bake cake.
Bethany herself shared her aspiration of becoming a medical doctor and expressed gratitude to her parents, teachers, school, and everyone who contributed to her journey.
I want to be a professional doctor because of my dad. He's a doctor, and sometimes he usually sends some photos when he's doing some surgery. I would like to go to the Annie Memorial School. Crocheting, singing, dancing, drawing, and baking. I want to say a very big thank you to my parents and family because they've always been on my side whenever I'm down. I want to say a very, very big thank you to my school, the Greater Hill Kindergarten and Primary School. Thank you, Miss Allen. Thank you to the entire teachers and staff. And I want to say many thanks to my two private teachers, Mr. Kamara and Miss Campbell. And last but not the least, I want to say thank you to all those who helped me to prepare for the NPSC. Thank you very much.
Her mother is encouraging other parents to be attentive to their children.
As parents, normally, yes, it's just natural for the parents and get challenges with picking the come up. Yes, so me company parents them where they listen. I want to say this not a magic, and you don't need to forget all the money in the world. I'm not a rich person. I not get all the money in the world. I not get all the connection. Me picking no to minister picking or not to farmer picking. Anybody in picking can achieve this kind of result. So to parents out there, I just want to say, wanna pay attention to wanna picking them, waiting them good at, wanna motivate them for me to do more in that area. Because my prayer always, I can say, you shall be greater than your parents. I'm not even till I say you go. I say shall. You are certain say go be greater than we. You go come be somebody prominent. Mama na lawyer and papa na doctor, but you get for pathway. So I always tell them that I say, just believe in yourself. You will be greater than we. You will make name. So I expect and I pray to God, say God will continue for guide them for we. God will continue for protect them, guiding ways and steps. Because in this world of the social media and other things, peer influence. So we can always draw them close to God.
From her beginnings in Essex to her formative years at Sawahil Kindergarten and Primary School, Bethany's story is one of a young girl whose journey is only beginning and whose ambitions extend far beyond the classroom. George Batilo Powell, AYV News, Freetown.
Many thanks to you, George Batilo Powell, for that. Well, now we return to our main studio in our first conversation. The Liberation People's Party, LPP, has been launched, marking the new entry of a new force in Sierra Leone's political landscape. What began as a movement in 2014 transitioned into a registered pressure group and now one of the latest political parties in Sierra Leone. It is set to contest in 2028 elections.
Now, during the launch at the Bintumani Conference Center, the party leader says their focus areas include fighting corruption, youth empowerment, job creation, tackling the social crisis that is affecting millions of Sierra Leoneans, drug abuse, substance, among others. Joining now us, of course, in the studio, joining us, we have Mohammed Samuel Kamara, of course, pastor, and he is the leader of the party. Good morning. I like your dress. You're looking good this morning.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, sir.
All right. Okay. Let's move to the focus of this party, of course, from our introduction. Your thematic areas are fighting corruption, youth empowerment, job creation, and drug abuse. This is actually what you want to do when you come to governance. Let's look at the fight against corruption, for example. If you ask the ACC, they will tell you that they have done a lot in the fight against corruption. What are you going to do differently if you have the opportunity in governance?
Well, thank you. Again, I say good morning. It's fighting corruption. We must put certain systems in place. And I believe there are people who should be trusted with the tax. Sierra Leone has become a nation wherein our political bonds are mixing up matters for us. So one of the things we'll do, we'll have people who are well trained and qualified to fight corruption for us. Because we are not looking for hungry people, we are looking for people who are more, who has the capacity to do it. A lot has happened over the years. A lot has happened. A lot has taken place. So it's one way to fight it. It's one way to have somebody who is passionate about fighting it. So we're looking for people who are passionate in fighting corruption in our government.
Let's look at, for example, the findings of the fight against corruption from IGR, for example. In a recent report, they call it the hate pandy case. They spoke a lot of lapses, for example, concession and revenue loss, e-passport discrepancies, prison rise, procurement waste, among other things. And there have been several challenges in the fight against corruption, amidst the fact that there are also efforts being made. Do you feel very disappointed whenever you hear about some of the challenges in the fight against corruption in the country?
It's not only disappointing, it's frustrating. You know, moving out of the country, you know, you travel overseas and you hear Sierra Leone, the name of our country is in a mess. Okay. You know, when you talk about corruption, it's not changing at all. It's the rate at which it's going, it's really frustrating, you know, and I cannot say it's something that can be overturned just in a minute. But I believe when we come to power, you know, our system will be very strong in order to fight it. But I'm disappointed to what is going on and what I'm seeing. I'm totally disappointed. I'm not only disappointed, Sierra Leone is disappointed. I think we have not fought yet. We have not done what is expected of us as a country.
But one will say that it's not all bad, because, for instance, there was a time that Sierra Leone was even recognized as a leading country in the fight against corruption within the sub-region. And if you ask the ACC commissioner, he will tell you about the landmark achievements that he has done, even in the area of restoring funds for the state, among other things. Is that not impressive for you?
Well, that's the surface of what we're hearing. We have not, the things that are happening around us, it's kind of messy. I have not come here to, you know, criticize them. I have not come here to fight anybody. I have not come here to go against the government system. I have come here to work on my goal, make sure what I'm putting in place is in the right direction. Because if I begin to criticize, it means I'm not ready for what I'm going for. So I think I need a system wherein I am too focused on what I'm doing, and I'm very focused on what I'm going for. But to be very honest with you, when you go to the international landscape, what we're getting right there, or what we're getting out there, it's kind of not making sense to us. Go all over the media. There is nothing positive about Sierra Leone. I wouldn't say the government is not doing his best. Yes, he is doing his best, because I'm very sure he loves Sierra Leone and he wants Sierra Leone to become better. But I tell you, the news going around Sierra Leone is a messy one. I tell you, it's a messy one, and nothing good is coming out of Sierra Leone as it is now. So the only thing we need to do is to make sure Sierra Leone become better by bringing qualified people. You are a qualified person. This woman is a qualified person, and these are youths. When you come to that particular point, I believe you will not be hungry to look for what you want. You want to see that you maintain your integrity, you maintain your name, because you have a long way to go. But to be very honest, my brother, corruption has not ended. It will not end. I traveled, I was part of the Open Government Partnership, the OGP, where I sat down with 149 head of states. I gave a speech, and I was actually, you know, advocating. That was the time Ernest Bai Kromah was in power. I was advocating for them to fight against corruption in Africa. You know, corruption in Africa, I think the only way it could end, it's when we're ready. I am not sure our politicians are ready to fight corruption right now.
So, Pastor, you describe the LPP as a new political force, but it dates back, I mean, the movement dates back to 2014. Can you kindly take us through your journey from just being a movement to now a political party who is set to contest in the 2028 elections?
Yeah, that's a very wonderful question. The movement actually I started with Victory Teens Organization. That's 2012, not 2014.
Oh, okay.
I think that's an error to the media. Yeah, from 2012, I began to, take care of, I opened an orphanage where I took care of orphans.
Do you still have that orphanage?
Yeah, I had these kids that I support. I help children who comes in contact and in conflict with the law, children who are sexually abused, rape, and I also advocate for teenage mothers. And I support my fellow youth to go learn skills. Some I give thousands of scholarship a year, and I also support those who, some of them travel to Ghana to learn skills. Some of them travel to different side of the country where they are involved. They train them. Some are into cosmetology. Some are, learning catering, garage tie-dyeing, and computer electrical installation. And recently, I know you might have heard about the free computer classes that we work with DSTI and giving free computer training to youths within the country. I just recently concluded an AI artificial intelligence training for the Sierra Leone police force, first in the history of Sierra Leone, and over the years, my work has been charity. I have been supporting the less privileged, the orphans and all. So I have been working worldwide. I partner with the Sierra Leone Police Force, with and the FSU, and I also, I have a system wherein I also fight for, deprived families who have cases and they cannot afford to take lawyers. We fight for them. I take lawyers that fight for them, and I also make sure, I go to these deprived communities, these villages. I build mosques, I build churches, I build schools, and I start with a classroom building. From that, I go to the next class. That's how I have been capacitating the communities where I go. So over the years, since 2012, I have been doing that. I have never, tried to go far from my dream. So my dream has become to become a philanthropist. I started in Ghana, where I studied in Ghana. I started my charity work in Ghana, and I came back to Sierra Leone. I began again, the process in Sierra Leone. So that has been my work, that has been my job until ministry comes in, and I proceeded with ministry and also the work I'm doing, yeah.
So if we should go by what you just said, you've been playing your part in society. Why do you want to get into politics?
Well, I think Sierra Leone needs a youthful voice.
We already have youths in politics, and to a great extent, many people think they're a disappointment already.
Not backdated dates, they call and say they are youth. We're talking about actual youth.
How old are you, by the way?
I am 39. Very young, vibrant young man. And I think I am the actual youth you're talking about. When I see you, I look at you, to your face, I know you're youth. When I look at this young gentleman seated here, I am very confident to talk to you because I know I'm talking to my fellow youth. So that is what I'm talking about. I am not looking for people. I'm not talking about those that are, their dates are backdated and they say they are youth. They have no sympathy for us. Why our brothers are out there dying.
Are you insinuating in any way that people that are older don't have the country's interest?
I tell you, if they do, Sierra Leone will not be where we are today. If they do, they will not be on the media bragging. If they do, our youth will not be dying. If they do, all the 16 districts, we should be having skill training centers in all 16 districts of Sierra Leone. If they do, our youth will have a free skill training scholarship. If they do, then we will not see one dead body of our youth on the street. If they do, we'll see our youth transformed. We'll see the nation transformed. We'll see things happening in this country. But I don't think they do. And even you know that they do not.
At this point, why should anyone take anything you say seriously, owing to the fact that you're not the first person that has come up to say, oh, I want to start a new political party, we want change, we want to fight corruption, we want to change this. Was it prior to 2018 elections that the NGC came?
Yes.
So the NGC showed up. And everybody, many people, many youths, young people, joined the movement, and everybody was hopeful. Okay, this is the third force. We're tired of Alusan and Alasan and this and that. And many other political parties, they've come and gone. They all come with lofty promises. We want to do this, we want to do that. It's quite easy to say it when you're on the other side. But for most times, when you actually take the seat, when you're there, then things change. Why should anybody listen to you?
You know why?
If you were to campaign to me now, what would you campaign on?
You know why they should listen to me, and you know why you should listen to me. The reason why they should listen and you should listen, to get it from me, I'm not coming from party A or party B. I am not an hungry politician that comes in for power.
Are you a rich man?
I am not an hungry politician. I am not coming from party A or party B. I'm not desperate. Most of these people forming, you know, a political party, they are desperate. You know why? Because they want to revenge. Because they have issues with their party or their party leaders. So they break away. And at the end of the day, you know, they go form a political party. See, it has been so funny after forming it. After they get the youths them involved in their campaign and all, then you see them, you know, changing or moving to the other side. I have not come for that. That's idleness. I'm not seeing integrity in that. You cannot tell somebody I want to form a party and follow me, and the people followed you, and at the end of the day, you just dump them on the street and go back. Let me tell you, politics is not all about money. This is why our youth has been set back, because they have been fooled. They have been fooling us that it's all about money. If you don't have $100 million in your account, you can't go in for that. I always tell people, I don't want to be a product of circumstance. I want to be a product of my choice. I chose to run, and I know I'm going to make it. If I wasn't ready for this, I will not go for it. So this is what I want to say here.
Realistically, what's the goal? Is the goal to win the 2028 elections, or is it just for you to add your voice, or to build a foundation, okay, that, hey, I'm here now, and I'm here to stay. So I want to contest in 2028 elections, and then after 2028, I believe I'll be climbing up the ladder. What's the goal? How prepared are you? Because it's a cost-intensive venture. Are you a rich man, by the way? I asked and you didn't answer. Do you consider yourself a rich man?
I am rich in the Lord. I am rich in the Lord.
You're rich in the Lord.
I am rich in the Lord.
But are you aware that to run a campaign for national elections is cost intensive?
I think you're very worried about me, right?
Well, I'm only asking the question.
You shouldn't be, no.
So just answer.
I'm very, you know, capacitated. I'm ready. If I wasn't ready, I will not go for it.
How do you intend to fund your campaign?
That's a simple one. You know, our campaign is very strategic. Our funding comes from our members. Our funding comes from our members. We have supporters who are ready to invest in this, and it comes from us. Our funding comes from us.
So many people have been complaining in the past that because people come into politics not having enough to run their campaigns, with no clear path on how they're going to make the monies to run these campaigns. So they end up having people who will dish them this amount, with the hope that when this person wins the elections, you pay them back. And for many Salonians, they think this has been one of the problems. This has been one of the things affecting our presidents, not being able to do what they need or ought to do, because there are too many people who helped them campaign. That's why I'm asking, how do you intend to fund your campaign? If you're only relying on those who would dish you this, dash you that, don't you think we're sliding down to the same?
Can I tell you something?
Go on.
Do you know why sometimes our government doesn't talk or take action so quickly? Because he was supported, or those governments have been supported by people who controls them. You know, I don't buy to those systems. Let me tell you something. You cannot impose or give me, let's say, $1 million and tell me you have to control me to run the system. No, I cannot. And I think you asked another question. That what was the question again? Let me answer you.
Basically, it's all centers around how you intend to run your campaign. Because if you're going to do the same thing that other presidents have been doing,
let me tell you something. You know, talking about running, how ready I am, how I intend to run. You see what happens? We had our certificate on Friday, right? We launched on Saturday. That tells you we're prepared. You know, one of the ideas I want people to know and I want people to get is this. You know, it's very frustrating. It has never happened in the history of Sierra Leone. You know, to see a youth, a young person running for presidency. I know the nation is shocked.
Well, we have people running for presidency. Yeah,
as young as I am.
Well, Timbo is quite young.
Well, I don't know about Timbo. I'm talking about me.
Alima, I mean, said something that is very important. For example, you asked if she's worried. One may be also worried about, for example, third force. Most often, there is always an alliance at the end of the day. What's the assurance that you will not form an alliance, for example, to these two major political parties, either APC or SLPP, even during the 2028 elections?
I am a man of my word. Whatever I say, I do. Or I don't give promises. My theme is going to be action. I do and I speak.
So do we take you by your words, for example, that you would not even form an alliance?
I am not even mistaken. I don't dream about it.
Okay.
Yes, because this is a youthful voice. This is a youthful movement. We want our fellow youth to get involved. We want them to get themselves involved into this system. So if I come and I begin to form alliance, I am deceiving them. They have no.
Is it about young people in governance, or it's about competence and performance? Because, for example, you are talking about young people, but we still have young people even in this current governance. But there are challenges.
You know, whenever you tell me about young people in the government, in the governance, it breaks my spirit. You don't give me the zeal to talk anymore. I'm talking about potential youths. There was a young guy that works at AYV here. He's called Samuel something. Very, very, very brave guy. You know, I love that guy as well. I have not spoken with him ever. No, we don't talk. He's brave, he's intelligent as well. You know, he's a youth. Such a person, you can see him from his appearance. You know he's a youth.
But you can't tell a book by its cover.
You know.
Can you?
No, there are people you come in contact with. The way they talk, you get to know them. You get to know that they have the potential to make things happen.
I want us to go back. I want us to go back to your registration process. Of course, for example, Sarah magazine said that you were registered on the 7th August 2026, and there is also a confirmation here that a certification of registration was rendered to you. But let's look at the structure of your political party. It's not just about you. How structured are you as a party?
We are well structured, very well structured. You know, we started as a movement, so we begin the structure through the process while operating as a movement. We have our Secretary General, Deputy Secretary General. Me being the leader, we have the leader, the Secretary General, Deputy Secretary General. Then we have the treasurer. So we are well structured. Within the district, the regional, we have our regional offices. We have our district chairmen, chairwomen, and we have all the structures that are expected of us. And we make sure we place in potential people with the expertise to run it, and people who are well qualified and who have the experience.
What is the composition of your executive now that you are saying that you are structured, for example? Can you take us through your executive?
Well, like I said, I am the leader. We have the leader.
I understand you are the leader, but it's not just about leadership.
Yes,
okay. And there are also some members within the executive.
We have the Secretary General.
Okay.
You know, we have the Deputy Secretary General. Then we have the Organizing Secretary. You know, we have the Deputy Organizing Secretary. We have the PRO. You know, we have all of these systems already in place, as you name them. We have all of them in place, and we have the regional chairman, district chairman, you know, chairladies, PRO, this organizing secretary, the secretaries. They are all offices that have been occupied, and I strongly know that there is no gap in our list at all. Everything is in place, and we're making sure everything is intact. Everything has been
do you already have a regulation, for example, a constitution as a political party that governs you?
Yeah, we do. If not, we will not have been registered. We do. We do have. Let me tell you, we have lawyers. We have lawyers. We have retaining lawyers, and we have one of the best lawyers. We have different people that are with us. We have magistrates that are with us, judges that are with us. People that believe in our system.
Supposed to be apolitical.
What do you mean?
These magistrates and judges.
Why? They believe in my vision. Why wouldn't? Yeah, they believe in my vision. So
I mean, owing to the fact that they hold such positions, they're supposed to be apolitical.
They advise us.
So if they're now with your party, it means they're breaching their own conduct.
Well, in as much as they believe in us, they are working with us behind the scene. You can as well. Yes, there are people who does that, I tell you.
I want to take you, for example, to policies. What's your policy when it comes to job creation? Because you spoke about it, that these are your thematic areas. What kind of policies are you going to actually initiate if you have the opportunity to be in governance?
One of the things I would do is job creation and youth empowerment.
How?
Like I said, there is something we lack in Sierra Leone, especially when it comes to our youth. It's a heart-burning one, and we have these youths that are well experienced, and I'm diving on the skilled Christian centers.
Okay.
We have people that have entered into politics and they have been wasting monies and not doing the right thing, thinking they are campaigning. I am not into that. So it's really, it's something that it's heart-burning to me. So one thing I would do is to create, a system wherein most of the districts will have a skill training center built there. And, there are people who are not, I cannot say they are not qualified. Can I say they don't have the passion for school, send them to skill training centers. Let them go learn electrical installation. Let them go learn, tailoring. Let them go learn, different carpentering and all. Let us have a system wherein Bo has that system, McKinney has that system. So it will be monitored by the government.
Let's look at job creation. Of course, you are registered the same day that the president had to give his speech. During the state opening of Parliament. Let's look at the area of job creation in the speech of the president. He says, 3 years ago, we set a target of 5,000 new jobs over 5 years through the youth employment scheme. Young Sierra Leoneans have since gained work experience in agriculture, construction, public works, community development, the environment, and digital services. This commitment must be transparent. I have directed publication of the verified cumulative employment figure. Now, the president is talking about the efforts that he is making now in terms of job creation for young people. For instance, he's talking about 5,000 jobs. When you come in governance, for example, what are you going to do differently when it comes to job creation, specifically for the young people? Do you also have figures or variables, for example?
I wouldn't give you figures as of now, because if I do, I have lied to you. So what I would do, I have created a system wherein I would not want to see a youth on the street. I would not want to see my people suffering. I'm a very disciplined young person, you've seen. I have served as a pastor and as a first lieutenant in the U.S. Army. So what I would do is to make sure the jobs are available and to make sure we get, most of the investors come in. Most of these people come in with these companies that they want to establish in our nation. We allow foreign investors to come not only to build their investment in this country, we also allow them to allow our citizens to benefit from it. That's one thing. And we'll make sure not only benefiting from it, let them learn the skills they need to learn. Because there will be a time we will not need other people to come and invest. We want our own people to invest. you know, let me come back to an area where you love to hear. Let's say, for instance, you know, the gold. We have there are I think, is it bauxite or so? The raw materials are not being processed here. They take them out of the country to process. So now, what do we do? In my government, we will create a system wherein we'll process these things here and make sure they don't go out of the country.
How is that possible? How are you going to do it? Because it's easier said than done.
The mechanism, we have to put.
Well, what kind of mechanism? What are the variables for this? What are you going to initiate at the end of the day to ensure that we improve in value addition? Because that's what you're talking about.
Let me tell you something now. One of the mechanisms I will put in place, I know somebody right now that came. He's a white guy. I know him through the White House prayer. You know, they have a system wherein there's a technology, you know, that has been created. Let's say, for instance, this is Kono. Wherever they will place that technology and they will identify that there is gold here, there is mineral here, there is bauxite here, or what have you. Now, this technology will be monitored by the president himself, right in the president's office. So nobody takes the gold out of the country. Nobody takes these minerals out of the country because it is being monitored. So I tell you, when that kind of system is being put in place, our youth, our people, the nation will be sweeter. But most people in this country right now are taking our minerals out of the system, out of the country, going to sell them. It is not well controlled. That is why you and I are suffering. That is why we're going through what we're going through right now, because our minerals are being exported out of the country. There is no system in place. There is nothing put in place as I know or as I perceive, you know. But to be very honest with you, look at Ghana. When Mahama came, Mahama stopped every importation. Nobody takes gold out of the country. If you do, you'll be arrested. He created a system. When you get the gold, you sell it to the government. The government takes it to sell.
Is that possible? Is that not also very dangerous? Because at the end of the day, there's not going to be any investment in the country, especially for mining companies. How would a government or your government, for example, generate revenue if you try to stop investors to come in the country?
Listen, I'm giving you, I'm letting you know what is happening in Ghana.
I understand. You are just giving me an example from Ghana.
Very good.
For example, when they have a strict policy.
Very good.
So would that work for Sierra Leone?
Well, it will
a developing country like Sierra Leone.
It will work if the people are ready for it. You know, I am not coming to impose laws on people. I'm not coming to let people know that this is what I want to do. I'm coming for us to work together. We are coming to work collectively, and we put our ideas together to make sure we get what we want to get to make this country become better.
Let me take you to the speech of the president, for example. I mean, because these are challenges. When you want to talk about the current state of governance, you have to go back to the speech of the president during state opening of parliament. He says, honorable members, the war in Ukraine and Middle East continue to disrupt global trade and raise the cost of food, fuel, fertilizer, and transport. As an importer of many essentials, Sierra Leone feels these pressures quickly. He's talking about economic challenges. What kind of economic policy, for example, will you have when you are in governance, or you already have in your party?
Well, I think one of the things we'll do is we'll more emphasize on the job creation and make sure we put certain strategies in place, especially on agriculture. We emphasize on agriculture.
Okay.
Make sure we support our people, you know, to invest in agriculture. And when that is done, I believe it will ease some tension within the country.
Well, what about the aspect of inflation, for example? The president even said it in state opening of parliament that the inflation rate had gone to double digit. It used to be single digit. How will you solve some of these problems?
Well, like I said, it really saddens my heart to get to see where we are today and to know what is happening. But one of the things that brings us to that point, it's because we are not controlling the economy.
Okay.
You know, and I tell you, I am not here to criticize the government.
Okay.
but it started way back when we changed the currency.
Are you talking about the denomination?
I think so. That's what I'm talking about. I think it started way back when we changed the currency. Though it was very, I think the government thought if the currency it's been changed, it will actually, let the economy become stabilized. But it became worse and very, very difficult for us as citizens.
Okay, let's talk about what's going on at the moment in the country. The recent amendment bill that has been passed and that now awaits assent by the president. What's your take? Should I say, what's your party's position on that amendment bill?
To me, all I can say is, I just feel we shouldn't impose laws on the people. Our party is strategizing what to do and what not to do.
Do you think they're imposing laws on the people now?
I think let people choose who they want. The first past the post also should be one thing wherein the community should have who they want to have. Let them select or vote for who they want to select or vote for. Let democracy reign. But if you put in the PR system, I don't buy that idea.
Why?
Because I believe the PR system has a lot of, negative side of it.
It does have positive sides as well.
Yes, but let's say, for instance, you have been selected or elected. You are not elected anyways. I'm not sure. So you go with the president. So they are given 4 names, you making it 5, right? So 4 names, you making it 5. You come to the parliament. Let's say something happens. If you're not spiritually strong enough, that's where spiritual battles take place. Some people will say, okay, I am next in line. So God forbid, except you go away, and when you pass out, then the next person comes in. Don't you think that is where, the lot of death rates will begin to take place? I don't believe in that. I believe in democracy. Even in our system, what we have done.
Are you saying if we it's already in the bill and the bill has been passed.
Well,
we're going to be using PR,
yes,
which we used in 2023 as well. Are you saying that's not democratic?
To me, I think our politicians are imposing the laws on us. They should allow us to do what we want to do and accept what we want to accept. How will you go put somebody in there that you don't know? The people in the community are not aware about, or he doesn't have a relationship with our people. I'm not sure that's fair enough. Let people choose who they want to choose. Yeah.
Okay, so that's your party's position.
That's my thought.
Let's talk about the threshold. We've always used the 55% threshold for a person or candidate to be declared a president of Sierra Leone. And now the bill that has been passed has in it 50+1 threshold. What's your party's position?
It's for our own good. It benefits us a lot.
Us? What do you mean by us?
I think whatever they do right now, like I said, Bible said the wicked shall run when no man pursue them. So let me say this. Whatever they do, let's say it's 50 threshold. I believe 50+1. It's for our own good. It's better.
Can
because
you expatiate further,
we are working assiduously. We are working.
When you say what do you mean? Are you talking about the smaller parties? Are you talking about the citizens?
No, I don't. We're not. Yes.
When you say for our own good, who are you referring to?
Now, I'm talking about us coming to governance.
Smaller parties?
We're not smaller.
Okay, so who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Liberation People's Party. We're not smaller anymore.
Okay, all right.
Yes, and I'm talking about the readiness of our people. Sierra Leone is ready for that. And the 50.1 or 51. 50+1. It's to me, I'm not sure it's a bad thing. Whatever they do, on that side, it's fine. And I believe what we need to do now is to make sure we get to work and make sure we grab the areas where we need to grab and sensitize our people. That's our duty right now. we're not going back and forth with what has been passed or what has not been passed. We just want to maintain what is before us.
You did mention during your launching that you intend to fight dogs. You seem very concerned with young people dying on the streets and all the images you see. How do you intend to fight dogs in the country?
Like I said, there are systems we put in place.
Systems?
There are borders. We will take care of our borders. That's one thing. I have served as a military officer, and not. I have served as a first lieutenant, and in the army. So anytime you see some tough things like this happening in the nation, check your borders. So my question is, how are these drugs entering into our country?
Well, some of these drugs have been produced in country.
Yes. How did the machines? How did they enter into our country?
They don't always need machines to produce these drugs.
So what happened?
So some of these components that they use to produce these drugs are actually legal components. So it's been abused when they put them together to produce the drugs. So you can't always say you just have to focus on the border, focus on...
Do you know that when we get our religious people, our community people, you know, we have, they say headmen in different communities. We have the pastors, we have the imam, we have the youths, we have the women. I think a thorough sensitization.
Don't you think that has been done already?
I'm not sure it's been effective enough. So when that has been done...
Is it about sensitization or it's about law enforcement, for example?
It's not only, you know, there is a video I saw the other time wherein they were arresting, I think they arrested the Kush victims. Okay. You understand? Now, I'm not sure that is the appropriate that's the appropriate
So what
point.
would you do differently?
So what will happen? You know, we have what we call psychosocial, support. We'll try to grab these kids from the streets. We get them centers. Some of them entered into these drugs because their mindset. Some of them, they are frustrated. Some of them have been marginalized. And can I tell you something? Most of them into these are those who have been running behind politicians. You know, when politicians want to gain power, they run to the youth. They go to the most popular youth in certain community, give them 2, 3, 4, 5 million, say, campaign for me. And let me tell you, my brother, let me land. When they go, they give them those monies. After, they will give them lots of promises. And after that, at the end of the day, they push them aside. They don't help them or support them again. You know, most of these youths are graduates.
Let me take you to the speech of President Bio regards drug substance abuse. I mean, he said recently that the fight against drug substance abuse is very expensive. So, for example, if you are in governance, how would you have a resource mobilization? How would you mobilize your resources to fight against the drug? Because it's not just about public education, it's about law enforcement, and it's about the resources. Do you have that resources?
How many centers? I think when you talk about drugs, this is not, it's a spirit. You understand? When you begin to take it for it to go away from...
You are looking at it from a spiritual perspective.
No.
But I want us to look at it from a realistic point of view, for example.
Let me tell you something. Let's be very, very honest here. Okay. Let's be very honest. Like I said, I'm not criticizing anybody. You know, it's really, it's put me in a situation wherein I am kind of feeling very bad about it. Okay. You know, for us to work on it, I think we're making more money on that. Can I tell you something?
To work on what?
Because these are some of the things. This is it's a disease now for us as a nation. You know, it has become very tragic wherein our youth are involved into it, they are dying. So one thing we need to do is to get experts. Okay. You know, and let there be a system. It's not all about.
But there is already a system. There are already experts, for example, in the fight against drug substance abuse.
Go to my brother.
You already have state institutions, for example.
Have you gone to Bay?
So my point here.
So
my point here.
No, wait.
So let me just don't lose my thought on this. My point here is it's not just about the system itself that we're talking about. It's about the resources, for example, even ensuring that state institutions function in the fight against the substance abuse. For example, you have NDLA. Recently, we spoke to NDLA, for example. They are saying here that they really want to fight against the kush drug substance abuse, but they don't have the relevant resources.
How many rehabilitation centers do we have?
So the thing is,
how many rehabilitation centers
we don't have much rehabilitation centers because there are no resources.
And very good, there are no resources. So where are the tax monies?
We have competing
what are happening?
We have competing demands. For a country like Sierra Leone, with such a small economy, there's so much to do with the revenue. You cannot take all of it to do with kush victims, drug victims and the like. So the question is, I think what we're asking here is, what would you do differently that has not been done already?
Very good. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the question. Just answer that.
One of the things I'll do, I'll create. I know I have different support overseas, wherein I have expertise. I have people that are experts when it comes to drugs, and I know there are systems I will put in place. I'll have centers, which I know there are people who are ready to build those centers. I'll make sure I get the medical support to flush their systems, and psychosocial support they need. I'll make sure 24/7 they get the support. And while we try to cancel them, what we do, we automatically get a skill training center where they go learn the skills, and make sure that environment, their mindset has been renewed, has been transformed. So what we need to do is to try to work on their mindset, because their mindset has been reset, has been redirected to drugs. So what we need, I will try, my government will try to see how we can bring them and let them know they should not be products of circumstances, but a product of that choice. If they choose to be, great people, they will be. Most of these things that these guys want, it's to have people around them that will try to talk to them and see how they can support them. And I believe if we have you cannot go take somebody and put them in jail, say, oh, you put one television, and when a minister goes there, they sing, the power don't come, the power don't come, the power don't come. Popena, I don't believe in giving you, I believe in making you. I can tell you, name me, there are thousands of people I have supported with my resources. Name me a politician who started with an orphanage and now run for politics. Maybe if you see, you will not name 10, but it should be passion. This is something that should be passionate about. When we tackle those, we will have people that are expertise, that have the that has the know-how, that understands about drugs. And we'll have people that can help us support us with different centers wherein we can support these youths. And we'll make sure we give them the quality support that they need. Listen, quality support, I'm not talking about support, I mean quality support. Quality support is needed in this. It is not just about making money. Our youth are there. You said you have gone to Bay.
Not just Bay.
You've seen them, right?
I've been to many of them.
You've seen them. And I believe when you went there, you burst into tears. I believe you maybe you didn't, it was not, your facial expression tells you that, oh, there are things going on. You cannot say the economy, the resources are not there. Madam, there are resources that I believe we can even, we can compress and tackle some areas wherein, let's say for instance, let's forget about the economy. Let's say if really these people are passionate about it, I'm not criticizing anybody. If our government is passionate, let me take the president out. Let's say some ministers are passionate about it. Let's say each ministers give 20 million euros. I'm just saying, you understand? Or so, okay, let me sacrifice my salary for this month. I tell you, we will do a lot.
Okay, what would you say to those watching you now who would tell you that we've listened to you and all you've said is not new, your policies are not new, Others have come, even the government in power now, that every other party seemed to be condemning. They came in with lofty promises: we're going to fix the economy, we're going to stop the drugs peddling, we're going to create jobs for the youth, we're going to do this and do that. So what you're saying now is not unique. Every other candidate that would come here would say the same thing. So if these people now ask, why not just continue with your philanthropic work that you've been doing and making impact in society rather than form a party?
Sierra Leone need, I repeat, Sierra Leone need godly leaders and a youthful voice. What I've done, I don't think many have done that. There has not been any single new political party that was formed or has been formed that has ever supported youth at the rate at which I have supported as many as possible. Go to board right now. You see them learning skills. There are skills training centers there. They are learning free computer classes. Not only free computer classes, there are some learning, computer installation, electrical installation, different tailoring, garage tie dyeing, go to even here in Freetown, go to McKinney. There are some that are learning these skills. Go to Kono. I have been able to open my hands with my resources. Now, I have, like you rightly say, many have come with these promises, but I have not come with any promises. I do not make promises. I do not make promises. I act. And when I act, I talk. So my theme is going to be action. So it is when I act, then I talk.
So you do and talk?
Yes.
Not talk and do?
No. I do, then I say it.
Okay.
So when I act, then I talk. So when you look at some of these things that I have been doing over the years, it is not today. I have been doing them, and I'm still doing it, and I'll continue to do so. So I don't want you to dive into, all of those things. New party. No, wait. Let me land some. I want to say something there. Okay. You said new political parties. All the things I am saying here.
It's not new.
It's not new. Mm-hmm. Can I tell you? Mm-hmm. The things we have done, no new political party has ever done that. Not even the biggest political party, APC and SLPP. Name me a political party that has helped or supported as many youth as possible. Can I give you some? Let me shock you. I have an institution I'm creating right now as I talk to you. That's a college wherein all the law enforcement agencies, their children will go in to learn, do whatever degree or whatever certification they want to get. They go in and get it for free. Because I have served as a military officer in the U.S. Army. I know the benefit of serving as an officer. I know the benefit, housing, tax, everything is free for me. 0 down payment if I want to get a house. So I tell you, many of these political parties have not done what we have done. And they cannot do it because they are not passionate. It is when you are passionate about something that you can even use your resources. When you are passionate about something, you can even use your everything to make sure that thing gets right.
Okay, so as we round off with you, what would you say to those people watching you now who would say, well, another has come, and after elections, they'll just disappear into thin air? And then when elections come again, when we were younger, they used to tell us about this money given to political parties that are just registered. And so people used to believe that many of these new political parties come just because they want to get hold of that money.
Oh, wow.
So what would you say to people who look at you now and say, another has come, and after 2028, they'll just disappear into thin air, and then we'll see them again in the next elections?
I'm only getting this now. I'm getting to know this now, that they give money to political parties.
That was something I had when I was much younger.
Okay, well, I have not come for that.
Okay.
I have come for what I believe that the Lord has placed in my heart to go for. As a pastor, I'm working with my fellow youth, with my fellow religious leaders and Muslim people, my brothers and sisters in the religious faith, for us to come on board. Because for far too long we have prayed for this country. Nothing has happened. So why not join hands together with them? They say faith without action is dead faith. I tell you, my dear sister, to be very honest with you, my message to Sierra Leoneans, I have not come here for money. I have not come here for fame. I have not come here for power. I have not come here because I feel I want to gain relevance. I have come here because I have a heart-burning desire to run. For far too long, it has been, youth are too lazy. They call us lazy youth. It is now time for us to come together as youth to make sure we tell these people that we are not lazy. We can do it. We can walk. He said, when you want to touch the sky, you have to climb the mountain. We're ready to climb the mountain, and we're ready to make it happen. And I'm talking to my mothers out there. Let them embrace us. You know, there's this saying I quote. He say, "May the mama them popo me, na them back. May them popo we, the youth say na them back. And let the fathers, let them hold we na them shoulders. We're ready for this, and we're determined. And I believe I'm not coming with promises. I am coming with the actual saying. Search my history, search my background, go and look at all of the things I have done so far. Look at the scholarship, the things I have done when I had nothing, not until when I'm running now for presidency. Look for a man who has impacted society. Look for a man who has impacted communities. Look for a man who has impacted nations, and be a blessing and say, no, I will support that man. As I conclude, you know, when youth comes in power, the nation will see revival. Before you go, let me just read a few messages on Facebook. There are some messages for you. Oh, really? So this person is saying, Michael Gauja is saying, please, sir, stay away from politics and focus on your pastoral calling. You need to know more about politics before getting into it. Nika Foni is saying, you guys keep saying the people don't know who represents them. I'm just confused with this opinion. We live in a small country. We know ourselves. I think he's referring to the PR stuff that you talked about. And this person is saying, Mr. Leader, sir, we want to know how you can tackle corruption, because that's the order of the day in all public institutions. And this person is saying, Maxine Ivan Mansari is saying, we prefer a God-fearing man this time than the politicians within a mosque and church just forget vote and turn against the very people where they're supposed for help. This other person is saying, I love this man, I believe in him, I trust Sierra Leone needs him. And this person is saying, Nick, are you there? I'm there, because I also have some messages here. For example, Nika Foni says, AYV, please ask him how he can bring affordable housing for citizens in Sierra Leone. I think those are the messages that we can take. We've already gone beyond time. Maybe just your response. Just briefly in 1 minute. Exactly. I want to talk about the area where the young person said I should go and learn about politics. Can I tell you something? There's one thing I want people to know out there. Those who are not interested in politics are the people who has the solution to the problems of this nation. When you are not interested in something, you know, you get the answer of that particular thing. I don't need to go learn. I need to know that, yes, the right thing is supposed to be done. No, because what I am supposed to do, I have already got them. You know, I've written them. My vision is already written, it's on the plate. And I tell you, I will not deceive anybody. So I am very, very matured in this. I know what it is. I have learned what I'm supposed to learn. Thank you very much indeed, Pastor Mohamed Samuel Kamara, of course, the leader of the Liberation People's Party. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like Wakeup SIM Copper.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Morning. Ria, give me 30 Leone top up. Thank you. Hello, babe. How How you dey do? Talk to Uba.
Hello? Hello?
Don't settle for a provider that cuts into your data and airtime.
Ria, give me all the 30 bills.
AfriCell gives you full value. AfriCell, now we network.
Here's how to load your AfriMoney Visa card. Dial *161 *5 *4#. Press 2. Enter account ID on the back of your Visa card. Enter the last 4 digits on the card. Enter the amount. Enter your AfriMoney PIN. Please securely save your PIN to prevent unauthorized transactions from your card. For more information, call 088-326-326. AfriMoney prepaid Visa card. Safe, simple, accepted everywhere.
You are still watching or listening to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television and radio. Don't forget to send your comments and ask your questions to the AYV News Facebook page. Next to football, Sierra Leone Football Association President Babadi Kamara, of course the president of the association, has officially marked his first year in office on August 3rd. 2026. He celebrated the milestone by hosting a major press conference at the SLFA Secretariat, highlighting a year of structural reforms, financial turnarounds, and grassroots growth. In an exclusive interview on the State of the Nation hosted by Umaru Fofana, one of our sister programs, the SLFA president spoke on his achievements, including the sacking of Mohamed Kalon as the country's national men's team coach.
The core functions of any federation, football federation around the world, is the organization of competition. And I must say, in my last 12 months, we've been able, when I say we, Sierra Leone Football Association is run by the executive committee. We've been able to organize every competition that falls under our mandate. It will surprise you to know that the last 2 administrations before me, over 10 years, they only organized 2 FA Cups. In my 12 months, I've been able to organize an FA Cup, which ended extremely well, and Eastern Lions happens to be the winner. Apart from that, we've been able to organize Division 1 tournaments for men and women, female. We'll be able to organize Division 2, the Premier League for both men and the female, and all have been successful. We are able to complete those competitions in a very amicable and transparent manner, and all championship prizes from national playoff, FA Cup, men and women Premier League, all of those prizes have been paid in full without any delay as it used to be. So competitions have been very, very well organized under my administration, which is the core functions that we are here for. Apart from competition, you talk about governance. We've achieved a lot through governance. You can now look at the federation. Before this time, you have trees all over here. You have people gathered all over. It's not like that anymore. There's serenity around the environment of Sierra Leone Football Association now, headquarters.
Okay. And you spoke about gender empowerment, in which case you've brought in more female to work at the FA. Obviously, you've not reached the 30% quota yet, but it seems you're getting there in just 1 year. But also female football. How is that panning out? Because I realize that a lot of the clubs cannot afford to have a female team to be able to compete.
Yes. In most parts of the world, male teams should have female teams. But that's not what is happening here at the moment. At the moment, you have other individuals whose interest is not in the male team, but only in female team. For instance, in the executive committee, we have 2 members who owns female teams, Pastor Buck and Mr. Fode Anthony, who is the regional chairman for Eastern Region. They both have female team, but they do not have male team. Yes, apart from the female team, all the clubs are being constrained when it comes to finances. But over the years, the female football is growing, and my administration is paying keen interest into it. That is why when we took over, we first appointed the female football manager, who is now working assiduously with the technical department to bring in the female football strategy, which is a requirement for FIFA. That document has been done, sent to FIFA. We are waiting on them to approve the strategy. Once they approve, they will have a national launch of that document, which will be the guiding principle on how national female football is being governed in Sierra Leone. And once approved, it will attract funding from FIFA purely for female football competitions. So that is in line.
Absolutely. Mr. President, I'd like to take you to another point, namely the way the interface between the states or the government and sports generally, but particularly football here. And I'm talking about the National Sports Authority. There have been complaints by many members of the public that the establishment or the way the NSA functions now is a burden on the running of football, in the sense that a lot of the funding towards football goes towards the NSA, who are not the guys who are really running or playing the sport.
That has been a challenge. But for me, it was not supposed to be a challenge when you have people who are like minds and whose interest is the game. So for now, if you have a president here at the Federation and somebody at NSA who want to compete for the resources, then there will be problem for football. But when you have a president and an executive director whose interest is improving the game, then I don't see any way where there will be a problem. Because as Football Federation, we are not being appointed by government. So for government to give their resources to us directly, there must be a body that will monitor that. And I believe NSA is there to monitor what we do, to regulate our activities, because government mostly finance our national teams. So it will not be good, or it will not make total sense if they can just take the money from Ministry of Finance and give it to us as XLFA without any government agency being part of it.
Why not, Mr. President? This could be audited. They could give you money directly and then audit how the money was used.
It could be audited, but as best practice may be detected. This is not just about Sierra Leone. If you go to Ghana, if you go to Liberia, anywhere you go in Africa, that is how it is.
And the NSA does more than just supervise the resources. They sort of spend the resources
before
themselves.
They used to spend the resources. When I took over of recent times, that is changing, because there is a very good collaboration between the Ministry of Sports, the NSA, and SLAFA.
One thing that has been singled out as probably your biggest challenge, or maybe the most controversial one in a 1 year in office, is the sacking of the national men's senior team coach, Mohamed Kalon. Why did you have to do that?
Mohamed Kalon was sacked for several reasons. If you ask Mohamed, he will tell you that as an individual in this room, so many times I told him we have to work in the interest of Sierra Leone. I don't have anything against you. Like people will say, oh, because Mohamed did not support him in the last election, that is why he does not want to work with him. That cannot be true. When it comes to this federation, almost everybody here was against me. It is natural. If there's an incumbent president working with people, the people are already comfortable with that particular president. So they wanted him to continue. Mohamed Kalon did a lot of things locally, which we stomach. For instance, I can tell you, there is a technical committee for SLAFA. I am not part of the technical committee. When Mohamed was asked to present his credentials, he refused to do it. he took to the social media.
Credentials that would prove that he's fit to coach the team.
Not that is qualified, not fit, that is qualified. Because before going to Azerbaijan, or even before I took over, CAF has sent a memo requesting that every national team coach should have a license or UEFA Pro. That was communicated. So before going to Azerbaijan, FIFA will always want you to present the team that is going. So you have to also present members of the technical committee and their qualifications. So Mohamed was asked to present his credentials, and he said, okay, they are in America, in this room. Oh, my license is in America, I don't have it here. And I told the committee that give him 10 days to get his documents from America. That was granted to him. After 10 days, he did not bring them. They called another meeting again. He did not bring his documents. And he was given another week. And by then, FIFA was on our neck to submit our list because the tournament was getting very closer. So the technical committee called another meeting and said, Mohamed, if you could not provide us this document, we are going to set you aside. After that, I took my phone and I called Safa Abulai, who was by then the national executive director
of the
NSA. I told him, this is the situation, but you be the key stakeholder in this game. We don't want to go public on this without letting you know. So the technical committee have sat Mohamed Kalon aside, and we are having Musa Kalon and Zappa to go with the team to Azerbaijan. And Safa said to me, oh, Babadi, don't do that. As a lawyer and border, I will advise you, if you are investigating his credentials, allow him to go, this and that. So after, we'll look into it. So the next day, we came here. But by then, I've called the vice president, one who is the chairman of the technical committee. I've called him to overturn the decision.
Of setting him aside?
Of setting him aside, based on my discussion with Safa Abdullahi.
So he came back and went to the team to Azerbaijan.
He came back and went to the team to Azerbaijan. But before that, before going to Azerbaijan, we call a meeting here. Because, I mean, I don't want to go into his contract. This is about his contract. So they went to Azerbaijan. When they went to Azerbaijan, there is always a pre- and post-match press conference for these competitions, especially when organized by FIFA, spend the money and every other thing. So when they went there, they asked him to go for press conference. He said he will not go. So
was that the post-match or the pre-match?
The pre-match, he did not go. He sent Paul Parker. Paul Parker also by then did not have the qualifications to be a national team coach, member of the national team, like coach assistants 1 or assistants 2. So Mohamed Kalon registered him as psychol, whatever, I don't know. But when they went there, before leaving here, he listed him. He did not list him as assistant coach. Say somebody who can just be around the players, talk to them psychologically, something like that. So, but when they went to Azerbaijan, Mohamed Kalon submitted his name to FIFA as assistant coach, which was wrong because he did not meet the criteria. So when they asked him to go for the pre-match, he sent Paul Parker. So Paul Parker went for the pre-match press conference, and FIFA registered their anger and their dissatisfaction, and that was communicated to the vice president and his brother Musa Kalon. So they went to him and said, "You cannot do this. This is a FIFA organized competition. So there's no way you can come here and they ask you to go for press conference. You will not go." So FIFA said, "We'll accept this, but the post-match, the national team coach must be there." So after the match, they called him again. He said he will not go. They said they will find Sierra Leone football. He said he will pay. He did not go. Sule Kakai, the captain, was in the press conference room waiting for Mohamed Kalon. He did not go, and the press conference had to be cancelled by FIFA because the head coach was not available. So for us, that is unacceptable.
Did you ask him? Did he tell you why he didn't show up?
He doesn't talk to anybody. Even when the transition committee came here to interview people, when they asked him, he didn't talk to them. He doesn't talk to anybody.
Back to his qualification, I'm surprised that he had been recruited before you. Didn't you inherit a file that contained his contract and his qualification to be the team coach?
No. Before this time, with all due respect, things were not done like that. You can just say you are this, you are that, and it's done.
But I would imagine that before playing any match that was FIFA or CAF sanctioned, they would have required him to submit his credentials first before he would serve as the team coach.
No, well, they sent a notification back in June 2025. Around June 2025, I was not here by then. So when you go for those competitions, I mean, he's registered in the TMS system as national coach for Sierra Leone, but it's not always that they have to ask for the documents. But in this specific one, going to Azerbaijan, FIFA asked us for the credentials of our national team coaches. So that was when I even came to realize that this memo has come from FIFA, from CAF long ago, that these are all categories of national team should have these qualifications.
FIFA presidents came under some serious flack lately, just following the FIFA World Cup, in which he sort of proposed to outsource or even sell shares, some percentage of the shares of FIFA, to hosting the World Cup rights. Before he withdrew that proposal and apologized, what was your view?
My view was to approve the proposal.
You wanted to approve?
Yes.
Why?
The thing here is, those countries who are against the proposal did not even give us a chance to look at the proposal.
But the president himself gave you a chance to look at it before proposing it publicly.
The president sent emails to all federation presidents that we've given you this document, go through, accept or register your disapproval, which I think that was a democratic way to go. But other confederations, I believe, even without consulting their membership, the federations around the MAs in their federations, even without consulting them, they said, no, we cannot accept this. Football is a very big political business. It's very, very big. The Europeans, they think football is theirs. And because football is theirs, they are not thinking about other members who are constrained economically. I don't have any problem for them having an issue with the proposal, but they should have asked for a session, Congress. They have the right, 20% of the membership should call an emergency Congress. We'll go to Congress, we'll look at the document, we'll ask questions. Yes, I mean, they can be suspicious, but they should have asked questions for FIFA to answer before just saying, no, we are against it. $40 million, I was going to do a certain arena in the Western area that will give us
There's
like
a football field in Bo. The stadium in Bo, you were going to
yes, I was going to get that.
How would you have got that money?
From the 40 million that we are going to give to us.
Tell me, how would this have benefited football, the proposal?
If they give, well, for Africa, Sierra Leone to be specific, $40 million is a huge amount of money to develop football.
So under the proposal, if it had gone through, FIFA would have got so much money that it would have been able to give the SLF $40 million.
$40 million, yes, sure, in a circle.
Welcome back this morning to delve deep into the conversation of 1 year of SLFA president. We have Ibrahim Kamara, head of media and marketing, SLFA, and of course Abdullahi Filakonte, who's a football analyst. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, guys.
And welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's so good to be here. Good morning to viewers and good morning to you guys.
So of course, 1 year in office is enough time for the public to judge performance. If you were to judge the performance of Babadi Kamara in 1 year, what would you say?
First of all, I think it is highly commendable on the part of the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association to have clocked just 1 year and then put himself up for scrutiny. This is highly unprecedented. We've seen, for the past, number of presidents we've had, in the football, fraternity in Sierra Leone. We've never had something like this. So basically, first of all, when President Babadi Kamara and his executive committee took over leadership, they were highly committed to, transforming Sierra Leone football. So having clocked 1 year, they decided to say, okay, let us put ourselves up for scrutiny, basically, so we can have a look and a reflection. Let the public have the opportunity to basically scrutinize what we've done in our first year in office. So that is in fact, like I said, highly unprecedented. We should commend Mr. Babadi Kamara and his executive committee for this. In terms of how I would personally judge, assess what has happened in President Babadi Kamara's, first year in office. First of all, 1 year is not enough to basically, judge entirely with respect to, how we think, football is going to go. But what has happened clearly is that a clear foundation has been laid in this first year in terms of, giving us a clear idea of, or a clear direction, of, where we think football is going to go in the next couple of years, because there has been clear transformations so far in terms of infrastructure, in terms of governance, in terms of women's football. As we speak now, we know exactly what is happening down at the football academy, in terms of infrastructural development, and we can now also boast of not clustering down there at the football academy, which is in fact, which was in fact, built, for the purpose of an academy. So now we can boast of having, a well-established, secretariat for the Football Federation that befits the status of, any corporate institution with particular reference to the Sierra Leone Football Association. And women's football today, it's no longer an afterthought like it used to be. It's now at the center of every, discussion bordering around the development of the game. Before now, when we used to talk about the development of the game, women's football used to be considered, like I said, like an afterthought. Something like we say, okay, we've discussed all of this. Okay, what about women's football? Now it takes the center stage. So basically what President Babadi Kamara and his executive committee did when they came in, took up the mantle of leadership at the FA, one of the areas of their priority, and it still remains one, is women's football. We never had a women's football, a well-established women's football development. Because if you're going to develop women's football, then you have to set the structures very clearly for that. So basically they decided to establish, a whole department that is particularly, dedicated to women's football, and brought in a women's football manager for the very first time in the history of Sierra Leone football. And in less than a year, the women's football manager has done a lot of transformation. Working with FIFA, in October, we're going to launch what is referred to as the Women's Football Strategy. This Women's Football Strategy is basically going to be like a roadmap, sort of, to give us a clear roadmap with regards, developing or transforming the women's game in the country. And because of that effort, it has attracted extra, $100,000 from FIFA. This is extra. This is, outside, the usual subventions that used to come. So basically, it's never happened. But because of the efforts of the women's football manager, like I said, it's attracted this. So basically, the women's football strategy is basically going to help us a whole lot, because the ladies, they deserve that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's difficult actually all over the world. It's difficult to say women's football is going to be at par with the men's game today.
I think
we cannot say that, but what we can see clearly is that the willingness is there, efforts have already been put in place. Basically, like I said, with this women's football strategy, definitely the women's game is
I think we have to manage time. Of course, you've spoken about women's football, but apart from women's football, for example, if you look at Article 10 of your statute, the SLFA statute, it also speaks about other membership. For example, the 18 Premier League clubs, the 5 regional associations, the Northern Regional Football Association, the Eastern Region Football Association, among others.
Correct.
What has been the role of the SLFA executive in terms of really ensuring that these fractions within the association are really united?
So when you talk about this you know, fractions actually being united, I'm kind of struggling to understand basically, you know, the angle from which you're coming. Because as far as we are concerned as a football federation, the football fraternity, it's a family. We usually refer to it.
There has been allegations, for example, that there is this sharp division, and the SLFA executive has been struggling to unite these fractions. And these fractions are also very important in terms of the functionality of the SLFA executive.
I wish you could have been, you know, a little more specific. But like I said, again, I mean, as far as we're concerned as a football federation, as a matter of fact, we just came back a couple of weeks ago. We just came back from, you know, having the first, you know, Congress of, you know, the President Babadi. Leadership. As a matter of fact, that is the very first time, you know, for us as a football federation to hold Congress in the second quarter. I mean, in the first year, the second quarter of every year, because that is constitutional. The statute says the second quarter of every year we must go to Congress. Now, coming back to your question proper, we went there.
Okay.
That Congress went down as the best Congress ever held in football. I mean, in the history of Sierra Leone football. I mean, these are not my words. This is actually coming from delegates. You understand? The membership you just mentioned, when we have a Congress, they send representatives, and those representatives constitutes the delegates. I mean, they constitute the Congress. So that Congress was highly unified. It was very, very much peaceful. You know, deliberations were done there in a very peaceful way. You know, the delegates agreed on issues that were deliberated on unanimously with no issues, no fighting for the very first time. Because I believe you've been following football before now. Most times when we go to congresses used to be some used to be aborted. You know, some congresses were mad with, you know, confrontations, you know, and you know, several other issues. But this one happened in a very, very peaceful way. So if you're talking about division, you know, among the membership of the
I think you've made that point very clear. But let's move to the transition report. Be reminded that, of course, President Babadi, for example, had to initiate the transition report that was spearheaded by Isaac Massaquoi. And then, of course, in this report, there are several recommendations. One, administrative irregularities. How do we solve that problem? Two, recruitment of staff, among others. What progress, for example, has your executive made to fix these problems? Because this was done by you when you came into governance.
Yeah, let us start with administrative irregularities. That is, in fact, why people are talking about the Kalong issue today. You know, as a matter of fact, when President Babadi Kamara came into office, the first thing that he did, you know, was to ensure that everybody occupying any position at the Football Federation, you know, submits their documentations, submits their qualifications. If you say you're occupying this position, let us see what you have that qualified you to occupy this position. So some issues were picked up. This is why when some people are talking about, hey, then sack this, then sack this, then sack this, you have to come to the Federation to find out about why, in fact, some of these, you know, dismissals were done. Because where irregularities were, I mean, discovered, for example, if you say you have this degree from this institution and it is cross-checked, and you know, it is found out to be actually not correct, then definitely the administration will take, you know, their decision.
Let's talk about the recruitment.
So basically, in terms of irregularities, these are the areas, and to ensure also we bring in people that will help in the transformation of the game. What is important to note here, and this is something that the President and the Executive Committee have always been, you know, emphasizing on, is the fact that if we're going to take any decision, that decision has to be in the interest, you know, of the progress of the game.
It's very good, for example, that you had to bring Mohamed Kalon's case, for example, as a locus classicus case when it comes to recruitment here of coaches. For this current coach, would you be able to explain, for example, the details of the contract already given to him?
It's a lot, actually. It's a lot. But what is very important to mention, because this is something that a lot of people have been, misinforming the public about.
Okay.
Saying that the money that is being given to this current coach, is way more than what was being given to Mohamed Kalom. As a matter of fact, the head coach, the current head coach, the assistant coach 1, assistant coach 2, and the video analyst, 4 of them, what is being given to them per month, you understand, is less than $30,000.
Okay.
Okay? It's about $25,000 for all 4 of them.
Who is paying this current coach?
We were giving $15,000 just to Mohamed Kalom.
Okay.
So you do the math.
Yes. So who is paying this current coach? Is it
The
NSA or
the government? The government through the National Sports Authority. Don't forget, NSA represents government. All right. So yes, the government, and it's the responsibility of the government, to pay the coach.
Let me bring you in.
And we've been enjoying that very much. So
okay.
Okay, let me bring you in, Abdullah. So from an independent perspective, do you think Babadi Kamara's first year in office was a success?
Thank you very much again. I would want to say a very pleasant good morning to Sierra Leoneans watching this amazing program. Your question is very much significant, and I think I will definitely try to build around before answering to it. I would say it has been, a mix of progress and some challenges along the line. But I would say ever since we started having FA president, I think especially in tenure 1, in year 1, I'll tell you Babadi has done more than the previous presidents we've had in, in the FA anyways. But there are certain things, like I said, there are certain challenges that are definitely there. But to go to your point, I would say we've seen a lot of success compared to what we saw in previous regime. Moving on now, let me just
go further.
Yeah, let me just go further on it, because now we're looking at infrastructure. Remember, we've been, this is something we've been crying for all over the country for a good number of time, and I think we've seen the FA making an effort to see that we get standard pavilions, to see that we are able to watch the Premier League in a very comfortable situation, and as the case may be. And I think also there are plans for us to have artificial turfs, right around other parts of the country. That is something that is very much laudable, and we need not to take that away from the presidency, from the president. Also, away from the infrastructure, we've seen in terms of academic, to try to improve the mindsets of staffs. Currently they are having a good. Before this time, it was very difficult to see refresher programs going on at the Sierra Leone Football Association. But now we're seeing not only for even the referees, but we are seeing that also for football administrators. I think that's a very good one. And also the international recognition we've attained, quite recently. Remember when Babadi went for a seminar with CAF, he met with Mutsepe, and they discussed a lot around Sierra Leone football. Also, we've been crying about, friendly matches. Remember, this is something that Sierra Leoneans, all the time they will tell you, we need to have friendly matches to see how best you can assess our team. And so we've seen that as well in this particular dispensation. But like I said, there are also challenges. Some of the challenges, like Ibrahim just mentioned here in the studio, is with regards to the hiring and firing of staffs or those who are working for the Sierra Leone Football Association. Amongst those issues is the issue of Mohamed Kalon. And also, before going to the Mohamed Kalon saga, I think another issue we had is the match fixing scandal that had to do with some of the players, included in it is Christian Coker. They had a match fixing scandal. And that particular situation, I remember when the president took over, that is Babadi, he made promise to say that though he was not in office when these guys were indicted for whatever, but he gave his word that he's going to see how best he can get that sorted out. Also, remember, we lost a very prominent player, or somebody who has been around in the football arena for a very long time. That is Gansu. Remember, he was having a training with the national team when he got injured. And so, for me, I looked at several things that one would say, caused this death. There were some amount of negligence from the football club, from the medical doctor, and also from the FA, because I believe, if Gansu is going to the SLFA premises, and we're seeing that there's not much progress in his health. I think we could have done something else. But quite recently, I saw a pause has been extended to the family from the FA. So there are a whole lot of things we need to look at in terms of assessing to see this individual has succeeded. But what is interesting here is the fact that he was able to say, you know what, let me allow the public to audit me. Let me allow the public to see what I've done and bring me constructive criticism. And that I think also, yes, the SLFA is not entirely responsible, but what we saw in the Premier League this season, it is something not good to write home about. You watch certain Premier League matches, and especially when it got to that period where teams were battling relegation. We saw a lot of things that we consider to be even match fixing, and that is killing the game. Another area I think we need to improve.
Talking about the game, many Salonians watching you right now, all they care about is how is Leone Stars doing as a team. And so when they have a new president, their hopes and dreams is for this president to do what it takes to ensure that Leone Stars start going beyond what we are now used to, and that has become a norm. So do you think all of these gains, and whether it's infrastructure or whether it's the financial gains and all of that, do you think it's translating to Leone Stars' performance?
Oh, definitely.
Internationally and otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that. Remember when I mentioned the area of the friendly matches, that's a very important match, especially for a coach to be able to see and assess the players or the material he's having. Remember, we're going pretty soon to have started, to commence the qualifiers for the AFCON, and so the friendly matches are giving the coach an opportunity to see some of the players he may want to use. Quite recently, he went to other parts of the world alongside the technical director to scout out Sierra Leonean talents that are going to be viable, that are going to be useful for the national team. So if you made mention about how important is it translating, yes, it is translating. And remember, before this time, we used to struggle even with referees going to officiate international matches. But I will tell you, with the training they've gotten, we now have 3 or 2 that they are like regular now. Whenever we have international competitions, they are going to be invited to join. So, but I think, like I said, we have a lot as well to do and to get to the position we're anticipating. Because remember, like you earlier mentioned, Sierra Leoneans, their focus is on football. They love the game so well that they want to see the game progresses beyond that, beyond this level. So in the area of Coach Mohamed Kalon, that was a very, very sensitive issue, very challenging. I listened to the SLFA Prexy when he talked about some of the reasons why Mohamed, was asked, to step aside. I would say maybe the FA acted, maybe I would say quickly. I was looking out for an opportunity that would go to the round table, like he mentioned when he called Safa Abdullahi to discuss the issue of Mohamed, not even going for the friendly match, in Azerbaijan. So I think this is an issue that had it been handled very well, I think Mohamed should have been still yet the coach of the national team. Yes, we've gone past that now. We have another person, that is Daousa, in that position. But I'm looking at some of the challenges. I think the referees right across the country, they need proper training, they need proper directions, and a host of other things. The mindsets as well of the fans and those who are going there. We need to see that we try to instill discipline and decency in football. Remember, another challenge this FA faced is with regards to, remember when Mighty Blackpool had the situation of relegation or no relegation, and that's that here the FA had to say, we're not going to have teams relegated for that year, and that was quite misunderstood by the public, because they saw it as if it is because it is Mighty Blackpool that is one of the biggest football clubs in the country. That is why the relegation didn't happen, and we move away from that. Like I said, the relegation is very key. The issue around the teams securing sponsorship. Also, I'm currently observing that there's a discord between ESCO and that of the executive since my brother here, Ibrahim, will look at it, that Discord, I think we need to see how else we can amend that, because when we have the ESCO functioning very well alongside the executive, then we have a very successful Sierra Leone Football Association executive.
Oh, okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm afraid that's all we have time for this morning. Who would have loved
We've not
to
even
be on this,
started.
but unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. And that's where we'll draw the curtains down on Wake Up Sierra Leone for this morning. This is how we will end today's edition of Wake Up Sierra Leone. We say thanks to our sponsors, Wakeup Commercial Bank, for their support of the program. And to our audience, we say we do appreciate your time. I am Alimata Judge.
And I am Emmanuel Nyakemamo. Please stay tuned to AYV throughout the day, as we have other exciting programs coming up. Till we meet again tomorrow, take care of yourself. Well, it's already weekend. Remember to take care of yourself and be kind to others.
This is what I'm going to be sashed in.
Sierra Leone.
We come on a salon. We come to England. Oh yeah, but we not run away. We come for better. We people that want to see what we they do. We people that want to know what we they say.
You're watching AYV Television.